Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the English Daily Book Summary YouTube channel. In order to not stop learning, listen to an English book summary every day for free.
Nita A. Farahani, The Battle for Your Brain. Defending the right to think freely in the age of neurotechnology. Imagine a world where your thoughts are no longer private. A world where employers can track your focus levels, governments can access your neural data, and you can wield technology to boost or break your cognitive abilities. This isn't science fiction. It's the reality we're rapidly moving toward with the rise of neurotechnologies. From brain-tracking devices in the workplace to brain-enhancing drugs, technology is offering unprecedented ways to understand and modify our minds. But with these advancements come serious ethical questions. How much control should others have over our thoughts? What does it mean for our personal autonomy when even our brain activity can be monitored or manipulated? And when does such monitoring and manipulation tip from permissible to impermissible? As neurotechnologies become increasingly integrated into our lives, the balance between innovation and privacy becomes both more fragile and more urgent. On the one hand, these advancements promise to improve well-being, productivity, creativity, and mental functioning. On the other hand, they pose significant risks to our cognitive liberty, potentially leading to a world where the lines are blurred between human and machine, freedom and control. In this blink, you'll learn about the growing role of brain tracking in the workplace, the implications of neurotechnology for personal privacy and freedom in society, the ethical debates surrounding cognitive enhancement, and the complex issue of balancing individual autonomy with societal responsibility when it comes to brain modification. Ready to educate yourself before it's too late? Then let's dive in. Brain tracking at work. As neurotechnology infiltrates the workplace, it brings with it both unprecedented insights and unsettling risks. What's at stake isn't just productivity, but the very future of employee privacy and autonomy. Tens of thousands of employers are already using brain-tracking devices in the workplace. As this trend expands, the potential for misuse becomes more pressing. To ensure that neurotechnologies empower rather than control workers, employers need to implement clear policies about how they collect and use neural data, and communicate these transparently to employees. Monitoring technologies are already prevalent, especially in remote and hybrid workplace environments. Many employers use bossware to track employees' keystrokes, check web usage, and even take photos of their desks. While neurotechnology promises even deeper insights, like tracking employee fatigue, there's a fine line between promoting productivity and well-being and crossing ethical boundaries. For instance, EEG or electroencephalography. Systems that monitor fatigue are gaining traction in high-stakes environments like factories and hospitals, as tired workers pose safety risks to broader society. While these tools can reduce productivity losses caused by fatigue, employees should have control over their data. Employers should only be able to access aggregated, de-identified information with the intention of enhancing workplace conditions. Research underscores that trust is critical to workplace success. As such, invasive monitoring can backfire, leading to stress, low morale, and decreased productivity. Studies also show that periods of creative thinking and downtime are just as important to productivity as staying on task, and excessive surveillance may stifle these valuable processes. For neurotechnologies to succeed in the workplace, employers should give employees actionable insights that enhance their well-being while preserving trust, dignity, and innovation. Ultimately, companies and organizations need to create clear ethical guidelines for using brain-tracking technology in the professional domain. If done right, neurotechnology can pave a path to greater safety, productivity, and creativity while protecting employees' cognitive liberty. Brain tracking in society. It's not just our workplaces that risk compromising cognitive liberty. Society as a whole does too. As neurotechnology spreads beyond the professional domain into the personal realm, the future of citizen mental privacy and freedom hangs in the balance. What we choose to prioritize and protect today will define the limits of human autonomy tomorrow. The freedom to think critically and independently is essential to personal autonomy. It allows us to reflect, question, and decide what's right and wrong without fear of reprisal. Neurotechnologies, with their ability to decode thoughts, threaten this fundamental right. Unlike traditional surveillance that monitors words or actions, brain-tracking technologies can monitor private thoughts, posing a greater threat to individual liberty. While government investments in brain research have produced valuable advancements, like improving brain health and reducing suffering, these technologies could also be wielded to erode cognitive liberty. Freedom of thought is recognized as an absolute human right, protected by international law, shielding our conscious thoughts from government interference. But the right to mental privacy and self-determination also needs to be safeguarded, ensuring that individuals control their internal processes and decisions. A potential solution is limiting government access to interpretations of brain data rather than the raw data itself. By restricting access to simple binary outputs, like whether brain activity matches a particular pattern of antisocial behavior, governments could achieve safety and well-being goals without compromising individuals' mental privacy. This balance could serve public interests while minimizing the risk of invasive surveillance. As a final point, unregulated government monitoring of brain activity could lead to conformity, stifling the diversity of ideas needed for progress. How? Well, if people are worried about their thoughts being tracked, they may alter or suppress their thinking to avoid scrutiny. That's why protecting freedom of thought is crucial, not only for personal liberty, but also for society's continued innovation. Upholding these principles while pursuing positive population-wide outcomes will ensure that independent thinking remains a cornerstone of a free society. Brain accelerating. If you thought brain tracking was the only concerning way neurotechnologies are being used, think again. Brain hacking practices will increase too. In fact, they're already well on their way. In recent years, demand for brain-enhancing drugs and cognitive training tools has skyrocketed as more people look for ways to boost their memory, focus, and mental performance. Between 2015 and 2017, the use of brain-enhancing drugs nearly tripled, and the brain training game industry reached $8 billion in 2021. This exponential uptick comes despite the fact that these methods offer modest improvements at best, and even then, only after a significant investment of time and money. Concerns over fairness will invariably rise in tandem with the rise of these emerging technologies. But improving brain function, through studying, exercise, brain training games, or cognitive enhancers, isn't problematic in and of itself. These tools can contribute to personal growth and help individuals thrive. What is problematic is that access to neurotechnological enhancements could become restricted, widening the inequality between those who can afford them and those who can't. The wealthy and well-connected will always have better access to these tools, while those with fewer resources will be left behind. Instead of banning enhancements, society should focus on making them more affordable and accessible to everyone. Some fear that the widespread availability of cognitive enhancers could create pressure to use them to stay competitive, whether it's at work, school, or home. But this argument overlooks the fact people regularly take less competitive paths, from spending evenings with family instead of working late into the night, to gambling with extra cash instead of investing it. What truly matters is each individual's ability to choose. Rather than viewing cognitive enhancements as unfair, we should recognize them as opportunities for progress. By ensuring greater access to these tools, we give everyone a chance to reach their potential and decide for themselves how to enhance their brains and improve their lives. Brain breaking. At this point, let's consider a critical question. Does cognitive liberty include the right to impair your brain, or just the right to improve it? As the potential to reshape our minds accelerates, this nuanced debate is becoming more and more pressing. Central to this conversation is the principle of self-determination, the right to make decisions about our own bodies and minds, free from government interference, as long as those decisions don't harm others. This idea is firmly embedded in legal frameworks across the US, UK, and Europe, protecting rights like mental privacy and freedom of thought. But things get complicated when brain impairment leads to societal costs, such as the burden placed on social services or the need for others to intervene in dangerous situations. So where should we draw the line? Alcohol, for example, is an age-old means of cognitive impairment, one that many people seek out intentionally and informedly. Yet, despite knowing that alcohol consumption can lead to socially burdensome situations, liquor is still largely accessible in most countries around the world. Neurotechnologies like decoded neurofeedback, or DECNEF, take this complex conversation a step further. DECNEF tools allow individuals to erase traumatic memories, much like in the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. While these technologies hold great promise, it's easy to imagine how they could also lead to sadness and serious risks. As such, they raise difficult questions about the boundaries of self-determination, and when, if ever, governments or the public should intervene. The answer may lie in balancing individual freedom with societal impact. If brain diminishment results in significant social costs, such as addiction or injury, there may be grounds for external involvement. But any intervention should be guided by the principles of legality, necessity, and proportionality. As murky as these waters may seem, upholding the right to self-determination is essential to protecting humanity's cognitive liberty and supporting future flourishing. In this blink to The Battle for Your Brain by Nita A. Farahani, you've learned that the human mind, once considered the last bastion of privacy, is becoming increasingly vulnerable to external access and manipulation. Neurotechnology is advancing at a remarkable pace, unlocking the ability to tap into thoughts, emotions, and intentions in ways once unimaginable. While these innovations promise to revolutionize fields like medicine and human cognition, they also present challenges to our most fundamental rights: mental privacy, freedom of thought, and individual self-determination. This shift makes the protection of cognitive liberty more crucial than ever before. The decisions we make today will shape whether this technology empowers us or encroaches on our autonomy. It's only by striking the right balance between thoughtful regulation and strong safeguards that we can ensure our brain data is used ethically and responsibly. That way, neurotechnologies can unlock new frontiers of human potential while still preserving the sanctity of our mental freedom. The future is in our hands, and with it, the opportunity to shape a world where technological innovation and personal autonomy coexist in harmony. Okay, that's it for this blink. We hope you enjoyed it. If you can, please take the time to leave us a rating. We always appreciate your feedback. See you soon.